In John's Gospel, John has Jesus visiting Jerusalem 3 times before his final entry, which we remember at Easter. This week we remain in our flashback to Jesus' first visit to Jerusalem at the time of the Passover a year earlier. Nicodemus, one of the religious teachers of the day, comes to visit Jesus. It's significant that John has this exchange taking place in the night. Is Nicodemus frightened to be seen talking to Jesus? Or does the darkness reflect his motives or confusion? It's hard to see things clearly in the dark. The cross casts long shadows, for even here, a year before the crucifixion, Jesus is alluding to it. As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, in this way must the Son of Man be lifted up, so that everyone believing in him might have eternal life. In this way God loved the world, that he gave his only Son, so that everyone believing in him might not perish, but have eternal life. God does not want anyone to be left out in the cold. God does not want anyone to perish in the darkness of inequality, injustice, poverty, violence and ecological destruction. God lights the way through love, non-violence, care for the weak and the oppressed and the outsider, the stranger, the widow and the orphan. Through a humble recognition that we are made of the dust of the earth and are part of the beloved creation. The cross is the sign of God's love. It's also the sign of our judgment. The light has come into the world, but people love darkness rather than light. If you cannot see love in the cross, then you're blind. If you don't understand that this is the way the powers deal with attempts to overcome them, then you're deluded. If you're not left rubbing your eyes at the terrible power in Jesus' willingness to endure such great suffering and death, then you remain in the dark. For the answer to oppression cannot be more oppression. It can only be love. The answer to darkness cannot be more darkness, but light. If you can see it, you're on the right road. You're getting in touch not just with your humanity, but your divinity also.